Hey guys, Dr. Josh McClain here, Rejuve Wrestling Academy. Hope you guys are having a great day. We're going to go through exactly how to do performance testing for wrestlers. So many times we get into that preseason, during season, and even postseason when we start to do testing, but it's the same traditional crap they've been doing for the football program, their back squat, their deadlift, their bench, like whatever those traditional lifts are that they all do, but it's not specific for wrestlers. So we're going to break this down step by step for you, and if you want, we've put together a guide with every exercise listed in it, exactly how we test it, exactly how to set it up, exactly how to standardize the warm-up, and then you just write down the numbers. We've made it super simple, so if you want that, find the link down below, above, around this video, or contact us via email or text message, and we'll get you that information as soon as possible. Don't forget, before we get going, click that subscribe button, and let's have at it. All right, so the importance of performance testing, right? We come off the summer season, we get back into school, we go into season. I want to see what my body's capable of at every step of the way. And the importance of this goes from preseason into season and then towards the end of season. I want to be able to maintain my performance at a minimum, if not start to enhance everything I'm doing. But without numbers, I have no idea. You can ask this person how they feel, etc. Feelings lie, numbers don't. Get the numbers. Get the strength, get the mobility, get the cardio numbers, use that to justify your training, and find your weaknesses to build up your performance throughout the season. That's the basics of it. When we start breaking it down, we've got a few different categories we go through. First, we start to look at body composition and weight. With that, I need to get their body weight, I need to get their resting metabolic rate, and I also want to be able to look at that body fat percentage, because during the season, that should start to trend down, strength numbers should start to go up, muscle mass up, metabolic rate up. So those are things we look at to start with just that body composition assessment. Then we start going through our warm-up. You have to standardize the warm-up, guys, and I'm not just talking about doing a couple push-ups and calling it good. Do the same warm-up from test to retest to retest to retest so that everything is standardized as you go through. We have broke that down to be very specific to wrestling movements, so we're warming up, so we're prepping for all the things we have coming, specifically for performance testing of the wrestler. Then we go into the speed and agility work, getting all of our explosive stuff out of the way right away, learning how to, and again, when I look at this, I see people with traditional wrestling strength programs just do a 40 or just do the same standardized shuffle test that every football program does. But when we look at this, wrestlers move in so much different ways, right? I have to be able to shuffle my feet here in very quick directions. I have to be able to move and be explosive in those positions as well, coming out of the mat and finishing my shots. So when we look at speed and explosiveness, we put it in position specifically for the sport of wrestling and not just running straight sagittal lines or hitting direction changes and pivoting and sprinting the other way. That's not wrestling. That's not what we do. So then we start going into mobility assessments. When we look at mobility assessments, I'm not sitting on the ground with my traditional sit and reach trying to measure my hamstring mobility. We as wrestlers need to be functional when I start getting up in that single leg. If you want to talk about hamstring mobility, get that thing up on your shoulder and start hopping with it. We've broken down mobility specifically for wrestlers and how they need to move and what their body needs to do. And we will show you exactly how to quantify those so you have numbers and not just descriptors to it. Then we're going to go into the strength. When we start looking at strength, we assess not only the traditional movements, but we then start to look at specifically breaking them into wrestling specific. Just an example, doing some staggered squats. So I'm seeing how strong they are coming out of those level change positions, or when they're getting in on their shots, how strong they are driving through there. Alternating lunges, right? Being able to drive back, but then also drive up and through that shot going into your next leg. Those are just a couple examples. We've done the same thing for bench, we've done the same thing for pull-ups, breaking it down specifically for the sport of wrestling. Then going into the cardio aspect of it, we've got a couple different ways, but when you look at wrestling, you either need to go from about 8 to 9 minutes in the youth and high school level up to about that 12, 13 minutes in the collegiate level at a max. So we want to be able to test our cardio for that time. With that time, we then start getting our average heart rate, our max heart rate, and the total distance, because now I can see a lot of data that comes from testing those three things. If I can start to push my max heart rate up, or even my average heart rate, and I can work harder for longer throughout that whole match, I win, man. No one's going to hang with me. But if I don't have the numbers, I cannot track my improvements. I cannot tailor my training to get me the best performance on the mat. Like I said, there's going to be a link down below around this video with our exact guide, step by step, to measure this stuff, quantify it, and tell you exactly what to do for each test. Download that guide. If you don't see it, email us, text us. You'll see the links again, and we'll get you on your way. All right, keep having a great day. Keep impacting the world.